Hey guys, so today we're going to look at the quadratic regression. And last week we looked at quadratic word problems, and I gave you all of the information. I gave you the quadratic equation. But this week we're going to have to find that quadratic equation based on information that they give us. So I'm going to give you some steps to follow. Now, one of those steps is to create this is your first step, you're going to create a table in Desmos. And I do want to point out that you need to note that when you are entering years, the first year is year zero or your x equals zero. And then every other year after that is based on year zero. And I'll talk more about that in an example in a minute. In the next line of Desmos, you're going to type all of this right here. Okay? The y sub 1 and then the little tilde symbol, which is on your keyboard. It's kind of, or on your Chromebook, it's up at the top left. You have to hit shift and it's beside the number 1. So shift and then beside the number 1 gets you this tilde symbol. AX1 squared plus BX1 plus C. And these subscripts of ones will automatically go to subscripts when you put those in Desmos. The next step you do is create your equation by filling in the values for A, B, and C that you get when you do this up here into the standard form of your quadratic equation, which is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Most of the time, it will tell you what to round to. We'll probably round to the nearest tenth most of the time. Delta Math may tell you to round to the nearest hundredth as well. So you just have to pay attention to your rounding rule. For us, we'll round to the nearest tenth. Use the equation to answer any questions that's given in the problem, and this may require you to use f of x. What I mean by that is you might have to put f of x equals whatever you've come up with up here in this equation, and then do your equation. Say you were looking for f of 3. You might have to key that in. I'll also show you more about that here in just a minute. So let's look at our first example. So it says the table below lists the total estimated numbers of AIDS cases by year of diagnosis from 1999 to 2003 in the United States. Find a quadratic equation to represent the data and predict the number of AIDS cases for the year 2006. Now, here's where the year thing comes in. So this year, 1999, that's our year zero. So when we go to Desmos, we're going to put 0 for that year. We're not going to put 1999. 2000, you say, okay, how far is 2000 away from 1999? Well, it's 1 year. So that's going to be year 1. 2001 is 2 years away from 1999. So it's year 2. 2002 is 3 years away from 1999. So it's year 3. And then 2003 is 4 years away from 1999. So that's year 4. Always go back to your original year when you come up with these numbers over here. Now we're going to go to Desmos and key this chart in. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So let me minimize this. We're going to go to Desmos. You're going to come up here to where it's got the plus sign, add, table. And then we're going to key in these numbers. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was on the left side of my chart. And then on the right, I have these numbers. 41,356, 41,267. 4833, 41,289, and 43,171. Now that's all the numbers that I got from right here. Okay, so those are the same numbers. After you do that, step 2 told us to type in that equation. So y1, notice how it automatically goes to a subscript, and then the tilde symbol, ax1 squared plus bx1 plus C. Now, if you'll notice right over here, we have an A, B, and C. Okay, I tried to highlight that for you right here. This is where I'm looking at, right in here. Okay, A, B, and C. That's what we're looking at. So we come down here and we've got f of x equals, now remember, we're rounding to the nearest tenth. So 345.1 x squared. And then minus 1015.4x plus 41,543.1. Okay, that's our equation that we've come up with. Okay, 345.1x squared minus 1015.4x plus 41,543.1. Now we need to know, it asks us, let's go back to our paper, make sure we remember. It asked us for year 2006. So now let's think about this. How far is 2006 away from 1999? Well, 2003 was 4 years away, and this is 3 more years. 4, 5, 6 is 3 more years. So that means I'm looking for year 7. That's what I'm looking for. So our equation, let's go back. It was f of x equals 345.1x squared minus 1015.4x plus 41,543.1. That was our equation, and now we're finding f of 7. Okay, so let's go back. We've got all that keyed in, and we're going to put in f of 7. Right? So since we're talking about number of AIDS cases, we're going to round this to the nearest whole case. So it's going to be 51,345 cases. 51,345 cases. So that's what it'll look like on your paper when you fill it in. Okay, I'm going to do some more examples in the next few videos.